So welcome back to another video, guys, and today we are going to be reacting to some TikToks that will have you rethinking your life.
Pull up the Paul Harvey thing from whenever that was.
If I were the Prince of Darkness, I'd want to engulf the whole world in darkness, and I'd have 1/3 of its real estate and 4/5 of its population. With the wisdom of a serpent, I would whisper to you as I whispered to Eve. To the young, I would whisper that the Bible is a myth. I would convince them that man created God instead of the other way around. I'd peddle narcotics to whom I could. I'd sell alcohol to ladies and gentlemen of distinction. I'd tranquilize the rest with pills. Wow. If I were the devil, within a decade, I'd have prisons overflowing. His own churches, I would substitute psychology for religion. If I were the devil, I'd take from those who have and give to those who wanted until I had killed the incentive of the ambitious. I would convince the young that marriage is old-fashioned, that swinging is more fun, and I could lure you into bed with diseases for which there is no cure. If I were the devil, I'd just keep right on doing what he's doing.
What year was that?
It was 65, but...
Holy shit.
I just found something out. I don't know. Okay. I'm just going to say it.
Uh-oh.
You know night vision goggles?
Yes.
How they're like green. Now they have like the white phosphor, which is like whitish blue. But apparently the first night vision goggles that the U.S. government had during Vietnam were red. And basically these goggles were made with a chemical cyanosine or something. They were given to fighter pilots, people in planes, and different parts of the military during Vietnam. And the soldiers were wearing them and they were seeing things. The gunner was like shooting in the air at nothing. What do you see right now? And he's like, how do you not see this? They're like giant demons flying beside us. And they're like, what are you talking about? Apparently the chemical that was in this allowed them to see on like some different visible spectrum or something, and they were picking up auras and
like the fourth dimension
energy, and people were losing their mind and going crazy because they were seeing.
Whoa.
They banned them, and the army was like, do not put these on. There's something really wrong with it.
Bring it back.
Let's fucking wear the...
Yeah, go to Coachella.
Crazy. And then right after that they stopped and they made the switch to green.
Over the city, looking down on Washington, D.C., you'll see there are two main boulevards culminating in a pyramid. And just at the very top of the pyramid is a street cutting it off. And then within the triangle at the top, where the eye on the dollar bill is the Capitol. And the Capitol building sits there. It's a pyramid. Then it has the Cleopatra's Needle, which is a Washington monument. And the river, the long riverway, the long waterway is called the River Styx, which is where Pharaoh went into heaven on the River Styx. It is all laid out in Masonic symbolism, and the five-pointed star, which is a pentagram, has always been used. Satan worship, satanic worship, the five-pointed pentagram. And if you take the arms off of a pentagram, you have a pentagon. And the United States Pentagon is sitting exactly due north, aiming due north at the North Star Thuban, which is drawing power, according to the ancient Egyptians, for the god of war.
Just take a road map of Washington, D.C. Just take a look at it from the air, and you'll see what appears to be the goat of Mendez. And the goat of Mendez...
Which is a symbol in Freemasonry. Right. It's a symbol, it's a demonic symbol within the Freemasonic.
You see the goat and the horns and the whole thing. The whole city is laid out like that. It's all over.
So what we're basically saying here is that there is nothing happening by chance.
Have you heard of the Pope's audience hall? It lies partially in Vatican City and partially in Rome. Have a look at the image below and compare its shape to the image of a snake beside it. Note the overall shape. Wide back, narrow, rounded front, eyes in the middle, nostril at the front, and curved top. In the image above, there are two windows on either side of the building that resemble eyes. So let's have a look at both of them together now. All of a sudden, we begin to see things taking shape here. Two reptilian eyes staring at you as you observe the stage. What do you notice down the center? Either side, two sharp, pointed fangs. The building's roof and sides also resemble scales. Really pay attention to the whole building and stage layout next to the image of a snake. The eyes, the shape, the scales, the fangs. In the middle of the stage sits a statue of Christ rising from an atomic apocalypse. Do you notice anything about Jesus' head? It's difficult to see from the front, but when you view the statue from the sides, it becomes strikingly clear from both sides that the head of Jesus is meant to look like that of a snake. There's an obvious reason for this imagery. Why was this building built in such a way that the Pope appears to be speaking from the mouth of a reptile?
If Satan ruled the world and
he had a unified language. What language would everyone speak? That's right, English. Did you know that English is a Germanically derived, occult-influenced language? Why do you think our language is called spelling? Other languages do not derive their vocabulary words from witchcraft terms. The words in the English language were crafted by known occultists, like Sir Francis Bacon, whom you may not have heard of, but you probably heard of his secret writing group called the Spear Shakers, or should I say Shakespeare? Yeah, William Shakespeare was not a real person. And we know that because the writing styles in his different stories are drastically different. William Shakespeare is responsible for introducing 1,700 words into our vocabulary. William Shakespeare was not a real person. He was a group of individuals ran by Sir Francis Bacon, a known occultist, who had an agenda. He had an agenda to normalize witchcraft into our everyday speech. Speaking of normalizing things, what do you think Hollywood is? Hollywood is the wood that witches and wizards use to craft their wands and staves out of. It's a derivative of Hollywood. Yeah, Hollywood. It's an extension of witchcraft. And to this day, it continues to craft our language even further.
The Hollywood viewing point is marked with a blood drop. And people still think it's a...
Zobacz, oko cyklopa. Zobaczcie. To jest twarz! Dlatego to się nazywa jaskinia cyklopa.
Jak mieć wyści! Ty! Aby tam w nocy tu wchodzi!
No to trzeba powiedzieć, wyobraź sobie, że w nocy tutaj jesteś. Byś się zesrał. Ja pierniczę. No zobaczcie, co tu się dzieje, to jest magia.
Hej, Adrian! Chodź coś zobaczysz. Adrian, patrzcie, zobacz. Matko jedyna! Tu jest zamknięte pomieszczenie.
Nie no, my tam właśnie tu będziemy...
Ty tu gościu siedzi. W szacie. Ja pierdolę, co to, nogi? Ty zamurowali klienta?
Ale ja. Zobaczcie, głowę mu ktoś urwał.
Ale tu są stopy normalne.
To mnich tutaj. To jest rzeźba mnicha przedstawiana. Jak siedzi, zobaczcie, tu jest sznurek, który mnisi mają przy pasie. Ona schodzi w dół naturalnie. Ona była wyżłobiona przez ocean, który tutaj kiedyś był. Który po prostu teraz jest niżej, nie? Ale ta jaskinia była wyżłobiona przez ocean.
Powiem wam tak, ty! A to jeszcze w dół się schodzi?
Tak, właśnie.
Ja cię kręcę. Słuchajcie, znaleźć to miejsce, to było... Ale no...
Guys, I'm sure it's nothing, bro.
This is the snow that I melted today. And then I put a big magnet on the outside of this glass. I'm just rolling the magnet around the glass. That's what I'm doing. See? Magnet. Glass. That's pretty creepy. Anyone guess why we have that in our water? Let's see what we can do over here. Oh, nice. That's great. Very weird.
What the hell? What is that? What the fuck?
Even in the drive-thru. Morning, certain food and beverages sold. Boom, 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 boom. Dingity bam. Archilimide. Birth defects. State of California to file cancer birth defects and other reproductive harm. Even in the drive-thru.
Said you have to name it to claim it. So here's my definition of what wellness means to me. This is my definition, not yours, just an idea, because you're going to be defining it for yourself. Wellness to me means all things in balance. And balance doesn't mean all things are equal or at peace at all times. Wrong shoes. Said you have to name it to claim it. So here's
Kevin told you he wasn't going to wear no dress until they offered him the dress, and then he put it on. And what did he say after he wore it? I made my own decision. Duh. But you didn't make it before they brought it up, did you? It's okay. It's all right. For a 5-year period, every single movie that Kevin Hart did was a movie that had been on my desk. That all I had said was, just, can we take some of this step and fetch it shit out? And then I can do it. Like, it don't need to be overtly homosexual, because I'm not homosexual, right? It doesn't need that to be funny, right? And me saying that and them going, oh yeah, no problem. And then going to give it to this other guy and having him do it just like it was. And acting like I'm a bad person because I keep standing on my standard. But, yeah, it's interesting, but I wouldn't change it for the world. Like, again, I'm on the winning side of these decisions.
With the lion here?
Oh my God.
Ah, it's because of the cow?
It's crazy. There's a guy running. O que tu vai fazer?
Vamos então.
What the fuck? What just happened? What? You are crazy, man.
Okay.
Alright, look. Y'all thought I was playing. I know y'all see those lights. Look at them. Not the little ones because my little mirror thing scratched up. I know you see those right there. Floating. Oh my. Bruh. This every day out here. Or every night. But still. Look at that. But this really in Miami. I'm not playing. Look, the airport is right over here. That's the airport. You know what I mean? They always got little lights and stuff. You know, it's probably airplanes. But over here, this ain't the airport. Look at that. And them clouds not even moving. How the whole cloud not gonna move? It's just sitting there at nighttime. It's crazy. Look, ain't no other clouds in the sky. But right over here, look at them. And look at those lights. Bruh, y'all could, hey. Oh wait, it's a couple clouds right here, but look, they just frozen too.
Holy fucking shit, guys.
Stories keep getting crazier and crazier, but I can tell you what I'm about to share has already happened in 32 American states. It sounds like a script for an apocalypse movie, but it's going on right now. Not too long ago, the Zuckerberg Charity Foundation funded the vaccination of over 100 million American wildlife. Some people asked why. We were told it was to protect them. Despite of these vaccinations, we're now seeing something called zombie deer virus. And what's really alarming is the CDC is not ruling out that it can jump from deers to humans. What is this virus? Walking around literally like a zombie with the nervous system completely being disrupted, drooling, lethargic, falling over, dragging on the ground, and eventually dying. What started with one deer and then a few deer is now in hundreds of deers, is now in thousands of deers in 32 states across the country, and also being found in other countries like Canada. Why is this happening all of a sudden? You can be the judge of that, but it's something to pay close attention to over the next few months.
Guys, I don't know if you realize that things are really rushing this 2024. I mean, things are really just getting crazy and it's not going to be normal. So let's just, have love for each other and really try to stick through this together and see how we can solve these issues.
On today's episode of Predictive Programming, let's talk about the Book of Eli. It was released in 2010 and is a post-apocalyptic story where the most sought-after possession is the Bible. At 37 minutes and 23 seconds in, the poster on the wall is timestamped 2024, programming the beginning year of the collapse.
Color can affect us up to 3 feet away from us. And also, if we are placed in an environment of a color that we do not like, that color can physically drain us. So let's talk about some of the colors. I have my little props here to tell you about. The first color we'll talk about is red. Red alters the body chemistry. You release the hormone epinephrine in the presence of red. Has anybody out here been so mad that they see red? You've heard that. I remember my mother saying that because I do something and she got so mad at you I can see red. It will increase your blood pressure, increase your heart rate, your pulse, and your breathing in the presence of red. Also, whenever red is in your environment, you will eat more, eat longer, and pay more for the food that you eat in the presence of red. Expensive restaurants are aware of this. Casinos and bars are also aware of this because you'll lose track of time in a red environment. And in that red environment, you will again pay more or spend money more freely. Red is also a great separator of men and women. And that is not a learned response, that's an inherited response. Excuse me. I need to explain that a little bit though. Whenever we're first born, babies don't see color at all. In a few days after they're born, they begin to see black and white. After those first few days, boy babies begin to see color first. The visual centers develop first in the boy baby and they're developed more fully. And when a boy baby begins to see, he does see the...
This is the proof right here. Sunday as the first day. March as the first month? That's not what any calendar I've ever hung on my wall has shown. Why did everything change? Who decided to flip the script and shift the months around?
In fact, it was the Rockefeller Foundation in 1939 that instituted the world's standard tuning. The Western world tunes to a 440 hertz frequency. That when you tune your instrument to that, the F sharp note is 741. Precisely. Not 7.41.1 or 0.2, it's 741. Which meant that there was a clear, scientifically researched intent, and indeed that's exactly what happened. The 741 A440 link came out of military research in the 1930s to induce psychosocial stress and dis-ease to the max. It was selected that A440 would be the standard tuning for the Western world. In fact, quote, mass hysteria, end quote, could be induced by instituting that frequency. And now you begin to explain why you went from the era of Frank Sinatra, where women would mostly swoon over Frank. Suddenly, Elvis Presley, rioting began.
Time travelers are real. Proof. We all know Greta Thunberg, right? Or do we? Image taken in 1898. How creepy. Normal image. Why is he wearing modern clothes? Look close. Vladimir Putin over the years. Jimmy Fallon has one of the most creepy look-alikes. I'm watching you.
Do you guys think that they clone celebrities? And why are there pictures of people resembling celebrities? Were they also celebrities from those days? I don't know, I don't understand. Tell me down in the comment section below if you understand. How is it that these celebrities have doppelgangers and it's not just a coincidence?
Watchers been released. Remember I told you they were bound up for 70 generations? That's from Enoch 10:12 right there. They'll be bound for 70 generations. We were talking about generations earlier. Psalm 90 defines it as a generation of 70 years, 80th by strength. If we just take the low number there, 70 times 70, is 4,900 years. 4,900 years away from 3000 BC, which is when I showed you the time of the Watchers being judged, bound, and buried. 4,900 years from 3000 BC brings you up to the beginning of the 20th century. Is it just a coincidence that we went from horse and buggy and beast to burden, basically, for 5,000 years, to all of a sudden planes, trains, automobiles, computers, supposedly sending people to the moon, probes to the farthest reaches of space, all of that in like 50 years? Or did we get some help? Maybe due to all the blood sacrifices of 2 world wars. How many know demons thrive on blood sacrifice? That's why they do it.
Hollywood is like such a big proponent for pushing degeneracy across the entire planet. And you know what's crazy? If you look at the mall in LA, it's all of these Babylonian deities on the mall. Hollywood just released a new movie as well called Babylon. Isn't it interesting how the book of Revelation talks about how Babylon made the whole world drink the wine of her fornication? What if that prophecy in the book of Revelation was specifically about Hollywood? Hollywood literally has embraced themselves as the new Babylon. There's even a video where a guy's holding up an Oscar. He literally says, "Kneel before your God, Babylon." What? I truly believe that Hollywood is the Babylon reference in the book of Revelation that made the whole world drink the wine of her fornication.
It makes sense, because in order to make the whole world drink it, there has to be some type of influence that could reach the whole world.
Babylon in previous history, Babylon was big, but it wasn't making the whole world fall into sin.
In order to do that, there has to be some type of realm that you access that could reach the world, which is the digital.
With Hollywood, it's influenced so many entertainment industries outside of America, like in Korea, South America, even in India. A lot of the corruption that you're seeing in society, pushing women to be super masculine, pushing men to be super feminine, the Hollywood culture is permeating other countries that usually wouldn't tolerate that through entertainment. One of the reasons why God is judging Hollywood right now, God has had enough of Babylon making everybody drink the wine of her fornication.
That's the video, guys. Tell me what you guys thought about some of the videos we saw down in the comment section below. Click the like button, hit the subscribe button if you feel inclined to, and let's meet on the next video.